Hi, welcome back to Outdoor Gear and Skills. I just want to do a quick video tonight on traveling specifically from like a cold place to a hot place and back. I just got back from Houston. I went out to visit my wife for the weekend, and she is doing training for a new job out there. And I went out a few weeks ago, and when I left Oregon, it was about 35 degrees. It was raining. It was almost on the verge of snowing. And then I went out to Houston and it was like 80 degrees there. And so I carried my SOG black backpack that I've shown you in past videos, and I carried a small duffel bag of my clothes. That way I could stick the backpack under my seat. I could get to my book, I could get to my iPad, and then I could put the small duffel bag in the overhead compartment, and when everyone else has the hard suitcases, mine would kind of compress into a small space, and it worked out pretty well. And going out there today, or this weekend rather, I flew out at 5 in the morning on Saturday, and it was about 40 degrees maybe, but it had been kind of rainy and stuff over the weekend. I did leave an Under Armour hoodie in the truck to come back to, but a lot of times being in an airplane for me is kind of like being in a movie theater. It's typically, it gets kind of cold, and so I don't want to just dress for warm weather and get stuck or have a problem. And I made the mistake a couple of weeks ago when I went out there of wearing this blue Under Armour hoodie. It's pretty thin, so it's a nice little base layer, but then I had a flannel shirt on top of it. And I was sitting in a middle seat, and I got really hot, and I could not get the flannel shirt off. I ended up unbuttoning it and just kind of letting it hang open, but I couldn't get it off in the middle of the seat. And so flying out this time, I wore this same hoodie, but I also wore this vest, and kept me fine. I flew on United, so I went from Eugene to Denver, and then Denver on to Houston. Coming back, I flew on American, and so I went from Houston to Phoenix to Eugene. And I wore this same getup from Phoenix this morning, from Houston, flying to Phoenix, and dropped off the rental car at 5 a.m. And so I was quite comfortable in this, but I can also fit this in my backpack with my other stuff. And when I got to Phoenix, I had a 3-hour layover, so I was walking around. I had to pull these off. I was getting hot just walking around the airport, burning time, trying to find what I wanted to eat. And it just really kind of made a difference. And so I'm not a huge fan of freezing your butt off, to wear shorts and a t-shirt to get into a spot, where you're going to be hot necessarily, or coming back, today. It rained really hard all the way home from Eugene to Roseburg, and I had my windshield wipers going full blast, and it was on the cool side. So I was, when I got back to Eugene, I got, down to the carousel waiting for my bag, and I threw these back on, and then I was good coming home. But it's kind of that weird thing where I was going from an extreme in temperatures, and the button-up flannel really just did not work well for trying to get off, peel that off in a middle seat. Had I been in an aisle like I was on the way out, and like I was going from Houston to Phoenix this morning, that'd be one thing. I could easily step out and do that, but it's really kind of inconvenient to wake up the person next to you so that you can get out and get a flannel shirt off. So having a small base layer like this, that's fairly thin, but it's nice and it kind of helps. And then this vest, my friend gave me this vest. She got it from her company. I wear this thing all the time, and it just makes a good base layer. So that's one of the things that I kind of ran into. I did opt to check my bag at the gate, just my small duffel bag. They were asking for that. Then I didn't have to carry it around Phoenix for 3 hours. I'm glad I did that. It didn't cost me anything. And all I had to do was wait a few minutes. And the Eugene Airport is small enough that by the time we got down there, the bags were starting to come down on the baggage claim carousels. So I didn't even have to wait 10 minutes to pick it up and take off. So that was good. I'll be going out there again in a couple of weeks when my wife finishes her training and graduates. So, same kind of thing, because I would expect that it's still going to be in the, low 80s when I'm out there and doing that. And, I see a lot of people, they're wearing flip-flops or Crocs or things like that. I still want any part of that. I just wear good, comfortable running shoes in case, something happens, heaven forbid that something goes wrong with the plane, and, you've got to have good footwear on so you can get, whatever to get around, get off the plane, jump in the water if you have to, kick my shoes off and jump in. But I don't want to be rolling an ankle or tripping on Crocs or flip-flops or slip-on, stupid sandals, that kind of crap. To me, you wear that stuff to the pool. You don't wear that, on a plane. And a lot of times, a lot of people are just really complacent and they think that nothing can happen. And it is safe. Airline travel is very safe, statistically speaking, but things can go wrong. And the other thing is, I just want good shoes with a good sole on, that can protect my feet from whatever. So that's kind of how I choose to do it. As you can see, I've got a whistle on this vest. I've also got the one with my flashlight and whistle on it right there. So I always have that with me. But I just want to be, doubled up on that. So I'm ready to go in case something happens. So I would love to hear what your experiences are when it comes to flying, if there's, what you wear, your footwear, that kind of thing. And would just love to hear in your comments what you do. As always, thanks for watching Outdoor Gear and Skills, and we'll see you out there.